Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to FPL Don't Panic. We're nearly there, folks. Nearly there. The weeks of drafting, the pain, the angst, the misery. It's about to be replaced by 8 months of angst, pain, misery, self-flagellation. Yeah, I think I'm almost locked. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. I did actually do a video where I actually was recording myself doing the final build, having taken in all the information, the charity shield, the friendlies, everything, all the drafting that's happened over the last 2 or 3 weeks. But it went on for about 2.5 hours, and I can't inflict that upon you guys, so you're going to get the condensed version where I'm actually kind of at the end. Is it perfect? No. But it addresses some of the deficiencies I think that I had in some of the previous drafts. I think it's better balanced. Talk to all of that in a second. Before I kick into it, the usual league code below me there if you want to join the FPL Don't Panic Challenge League. We do the weekly Bishop Brand Cup for our league winner, as well as a review of the top 2 or 3 to see what they've been doing right that we can all learn from. And at the end of the season we obviously have our overall league winner, who will receive an FPL Don't Panic Road to 66 t-shirt, which I will be actually picking up this week on Thursday. I've got a couple of late ones I've got to get out. Heather, yours is the latest. Dean, yours is not really that overdue, but you'll have that soon. And what I will do is, I think I will do a spot prize next week. So the first Bishop Brennan Cup winner of the season, as in game week 1, will get an FPL Don't Panic Road to 266 t-shirt. I should have them on Thursday, day before deadline. So I'll give you a look at what they look like then, and see if you want one. Oh, and always a reminder, the league strictly cuts off after 5 game weeks. So if you're not in, you can't win. Right. Wow, I've sweated over this one for the last few hours. I think I'm finally there. Let's get into it, as they say. I'm going to talk about the rules. I had to think about my own rules as I built this draft out. I may have had to bend 1 or 2 even with this draft. The biggest one, which is probably the number 1 rule, to be honest with you, it's actually quite hard to achieve, isn't it? Don't need to talk to the core philosophy or the squad building rules, etc., etc. It's these transfer rules. It's kind of the squad building rule. It's the stuff that's in the transfer rules mainly. 11 solid starters, and what I mean by 11 solid starters is that they're definitely going to start and get solid minutes. Bloody hell, it's a bit of a minefield, isn't it? I've achieved that as best I can with this squad I'm about to show you. There's one in there that really annoying me though, really annoying me, and I don't see a way around it yet. But I think it's okay. I think it's okay. You'll know what I'm talking about when I go through the squad. Role transfers where possible. That's obviously an ongoing thing. We'll talk about that as the season progresses. Avoid unnecessary points hits. I've talked about that long and often. Well, you'll see that as the season progresses. But yeah, hits become habits. They don't work. They don't generally work. You've got to get a return, and the player that you've transferred out to blank to make it worthwhile. Just the amount of times they backfire is, I just always refer back to the top 3 teams that won the winner of FPL and the top 3 teams in FPL managers last season. Not a single hit between them, and if you look back through history, it's always the same. Hardly a hit ever taken by the ones that ultimately go on to win or finish in their top 2, 3, 4. Fixtures of weather, yeah. We'll talk to, this is stuff that's just common sense. Resist FOMO. Points chasing. Stop building narratives. Trust the data. Blah 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 blah. Wildcard 10 or later. I want to talk more to the rules that are relevant to this draft that I've built. Wildcard 10 or later, when genuine patterns have formed and current data grown. With some of the drafts that I've been doing, I've really have realised that it's going to be the next best thing to impossible to to get to 10 without needing to use the wild card, particularly with that bloody long international break where some of our players are going to have like 3 matches or more. There's going to be injuries, there's going to be all sorts of things. I can't even be sure if I'll make it to 10, but I want to give myself the best possible chance of doing that. My experience has been, you know, the last 3 or 4 seasons, I've only been playing 3 or 4 seasons, but it's always around game week 10, between 10 and 15, where I have the ping moment, where I've seen the patterns, I can see, this is where it's going. But I've always blown me bloody wild card before then. And I think this season's actually going to be trickier than ever. We're not going to know the real patterns after 4 or 5 game weeks. And the team that we really need to wildcard into is going to be optimised. I really don't think we are. And the big one there is going to be, and it is once again, is DEFCON. DEFCON was huge last year. Is it going to be as big this year? We don't actually know. And the thing in the video that I did the other day, where I showed the sort of way the seasons progress, did the last 5 or 6 seasons and the pattern across the whole seasons of the top point scores, what came through to me very, very much, it was just almost really reiterating and confirming and affirming what I already know. You've got to get to 10 game weeks before you really see who is coming through. And will it be the DEFCONs again this year, or will we see a return of the wing backs? Will there be a change in style of football this year? Will set pieces still be so much? We're not going to get that in 4 or 5 game weeks, but we'll have it, or a feeling for it, by between 10 and 15. Can we make it to 10 with the wild card intact? I'm going to give it a go. I think this draft I've done now gives me a better chance than some of my previous ones have done, even if it's not quite as strong as some of those drafts. 5 blanks and gone. I've got to set a rule around this. I've struggled with what the rule should be around this, but I just know every season it costs me dearly hanging on to players for just too long, believing that they'll come good. And I think I'm just going to set the rule around it now. 5 feels good. 5 blanks and gone. It doesn't matter who you are. In fact, it's especially who you are, the ones that you're hanging on to, the Palmers, the Haalands. You know, the amount of times we've just hung on to Haaland in the last season or two. You know, when he's been piddling along doing barely anything in the second half of the season. Now, 5 and gone. That's it. Golden rule. And build squad value in first 10. This is going to be one of the trickier ones, with wanting to roll transfers, but also knowing you need to chase value and avoid points losses. That's got to kind of be at my own sort of discretion. I don't want to chase points because someone's had a big haul the previous week, but at the same time, if I've got someone taking a price drop and that player's getting a price rise and it fits the overall model in that first 10 game weeks, I'm going for them. Anyway, enough of that. We'll be talking to these rules. The thing to remember, the spreadsheet is a framework to try and achieve a top 10k finish. There are rules within it, but there is still flexibility within those rules, because you guys know what I'm like. There has to be a certain room for creativity. But it's just trying to stay within that framework. And as you all know by now, try and achieve that 60 points base without captaincy, and try and get your captaincy picks on average right, so you're achieving a reasonable, and I think this is a moderate target, to get 6 points on the captaincy. Trigger Talks FPL did a great video about a month or 2 back, I think it was. He was talking about the best way to do captaincies and whatever. Have a revisit to that. It was some really good talking points in there. I'd love to get Trigger on here actually at some point. He's a fellow New Zealander. Well, I'm not a New Zealander, I'm Irish. He's a Kiwi. He lives a long way from here. Love to get him on here sometime and talk about that very, very, very subject. Captaincy. It's critical to having a successful season. And I think the crux of his message was really, to be honest with you, always go with the most popular captain. The obvious captain's choice. Don't try and be creative with it. Just pick the right captain. And the most popular captain, the one most picked, is usually, on average, the right choice. Here's my draft, guys. This is what it looks like. Talk to it a wee bit. I have gone with the rotating keepers, just on Verbruggen and Kinski at the moment. Now, first thing, let's address this one. Kinski just had, he was terrible, wasn't he? He just had the 3-point average last year. But to be fair, it was it's 3-point average, and Verbruggen just a 3.4 average, whereas David Raya had a 4.6 average. Now, various points last season, I did have Raya, but for most of the season I had rotating keepers. And that sometimes was, actually the main one was Verbruggen and Petrovic, I think. Yeah, Verbruggen and Petrovic, I think, had been my main rotating keepers. And I think I had, was it Dubravka and Petrovic at some point. Anytime I had a rotating keepers, I was achieving well over a 5.5 average. Now, there was some luck in there, obviously. But there was some bad luck as well. The amount of times that I benched points. But the average for me, and that's the important one, was a good 5.5 average whenever I did rotating keepers. So I'm setting myself an average there, a target, and understand these are just targets at the moment. Ultimately, as the season progresses, or as the game weeks progress, game week 1 will obviously move across into there, and we will actually get to see how these are actually tracking against the actual target. The reality versus my dream, what I hope they will achieve. This was a tricky one, especially after this bugger getting substituted on 59 minutes in the Charity Shield. I do believe, I have had to ultimately sacrifice Gabriel. That was as you guys know, that has been very, very difficult for me. And I was actually still trying to work out, is there any way I can get him back in? Because Gabriel is your locked in 100% starter. And Calafiori is, I believe, your 100% starter for now. At the moment he is. But 59th minute sub. I know it obviously doesn't affect my points because it wasn't a Fantasy Premier League, an actual Premier League match, but it sowed the seeds of doubt. But what I do believe is that Calafiori is one of 2 Arsenal defenders that could match Gabriel. The other one being Timber, but Timber's out. 22 starts, 109 points. Yeah, he could well be up there in that 180. I don't think Calafiori will be a season-long keeper for me. I don't need him to be a season-long keeper. I need a clean sheet and an attacking return across these first few. And he could be. I mean, I may well hold him for I think Arsenal's fixtures are a mixed bag. They did look good yesterday. Looks as though the new signings are bedding in. He's the one where I'm bending my minutes rule a bit. I'm not too sure. I'm just not sure. I have to have a piece of that Arsenal defence, and I just can't get the squad I think I'm going to need with Gabriel in there. And it really does hurt me to let Gabriel go. As I often say, my mantra has been for weeks and weeks as I've hung on to him for dear life. Over 200 points in 30 starts. But I think we're going with this. I think we're going with Calafiori. Hume, I really wanted Ballard. There's another little sacrifice. There may still be a way to get Ballard in instead of Hume, but he's not bad. 4.5. Decent enough fixtures there. I also think he's playing up the wing, isn't he, as well? He's playing. There's a little tricky one there with Hume, but he could well be playing on the wing, so he could be a defender playing in an attacking position. So we're just setting on the 4.5 average target there at the moment. I fixtures are there hopefully to achieve it. But you notice I've also got Azure on the bench there. We'll talk to that in a second. So we can get some good rotations between them as well. And I think between the two of them, as my sort of cheaper defenders, we can get somewhere hopefully above that 4.5. I think 4.5, considering that they'll probably rotate a bit, those two. I think we can. I'm just looking there at the way those fixtures rotate. It's not bad actually. I think we could achieve over the 4.5. Nico Williams, like Nico Williams, he is my perfect defender, to be honest with you. Didn't have the greatest season last year, but then neither did Forest. They were very, very disrupted. I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be good. I think Nico Williams is a fabulous player. My ideal defender. You've got the DEFCON, you've got the attack, you've got the set pieces as well. I think 4.5 is a fairly achievable target for him. And I think the value, it's a real step up in value from the 4.5s to the quality that you actually do get in some of those 5 million defenders. There's one or two other Rodon, someone that's on my mind as well. I haven't completely ruled out Rodon. I think there may be a little bit of a minute's risk with Rodon. I'm trying to go for guys that I'm pretty confident are going to start, and I'm not having to be worrying about looking at the team sheet at the weekend, going, are they in or are they out? Nico Williams. I like Nico Williams. And again, mixed bag of fixtures, but I've got some good rotations. But the thing with someone like Nico Williams, he could pop up and get you an attacking return really, really unexpectedly. There is a bit of DEFCON there as well. Yeah, I think he's a decent shout. Maguire, I'm really, really hoping. Of course, exactly what I said in the last video. Yeah, I can really see him getting on the end of some Bruno set pieces. So of course they did it in the last friendly, even though they did actually get soundly spanked in that one, didn't they? But again, I don't read too much into pre-season friendlies. But with Casemiro gone, I mean, this actually, look at that, 90 points in 19 starts. I know the season average is only 4, but remember he used to come on for quite a lot of end of matches and things like that. But once he got his place secured back again and got on his proper redemption arc, 19 starts, 90 points. That's pretty good. And they didn't actually keep that many clean sheets. That is, it's a 180 pointer potentially. I don't suspect I'll keep Maguire for the whole season, but you've got to fancy he's going to get on the end of something there, don't you? Hull, Ipswich, Everton, and they're still okay. City at home. City don't look too flash defensively, do they? I don't mind. Sometimes United are actually better in these tougher fixtures anyways. Bruno's Bruno. Listen, I'm not going to talk to it. Bruno could become a cash cow around game week 4 when I'll want to bring in some Chelsea assets. Will that be Palmer? He's not exactly pulling up many trees, is he? We'll talk about the front line in a minute, where I have had to let go of João Pedro. Can't have everyone. Just can't have everyone. But I'm happy with Bruno. For now. It's a lot of money. But we just have to look at those couple of fixtures. And the nice thing with having someone like Bruno there, when we do get to, and I would like to roll through 1, 2, 3, and then when I get to here where there's this bit of red, rather than, I'd like to try and get away without using my free hit, because it does look pretty nasty. Bruno could potentially become a cash cow. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Tollis, little saviour. Because the other disappointing one was yesterday. I've had Bruno G in last draft or 2. Been really confident that he was going to be a key cog in the Arsenal machine. And of course now he got subbed for Rice on 45 minutes. Can't be taking that risk. Will Rice and Bruno G play together in the same team? I suspect ultimately they will. Can't take that chance. Can't take that chance at the moment. But this fella has stepped up, hasn't he? And he saves me a bit of money. 6.5 million. Solis looks fantastic. Can't see. I'm pretty. How confident can we be? I want a piece of that Arsenal attack against Coventry, and he does look pretty handy. How many assists he had pre-season? And I know pre-season friendlies count for nothing. I thoroughly believe it, but he looks as though he could be a little fined. And at 6.5 million, pretty certain he's a starter. Coventry. I mean, let's be honest. You've all brought him into your teams. I actually deliberately didn't watch any content after that Charity Shield final because I just wanted to do this without being influenced by all the noise and go my own way. But he's in all our drafts now, isn't he? Come on, be honest. Has to be. Semenyo. Yeah, I mean, he could have had a goal yesterday. Again, as I say, it's the Charity Shield. It's a glorified friendly. We all know the curse of the Charity Shield, and it is quite often the team that loses the Charity Shield that goes on to win the league. It is a nothing match, and I wouldn't be reading too much into it. Semenyo is a fantastic player, and I absolutely want him in my team. And yeah, happy enough with that. And I think a moderate 6-point average. He's pretty explosive at the beginning of the season. Certainly some great fixtures there. A few tough ones as well, but the likes of Semenyo, he can score any time or get an assist any time. Happy with that. Sangare, again, running through these quickly now. Sangare, I think, is going to be absolutely fantastic. And yeah, mixed-ish bag of fixtures, but the nice thing with DEFCON, guys, is you don't really mind the fixtures, you know. And the nice thing with Sangare is he ain't just a DEFCON king. This guy will pick up some attacking returns as well. So I'm pretty happy with that. And Mbumo, absolutely. I have no worries about Mbumo's minutes, even despite the not getting the start in that friendly. They had to get minutes into the likes of who needed minutes. Mainu needed minutes. Cunha especially needed minutes, etc., etc. I have no doubt whatsoever he'll be starting the next couple of game weeks, and it's probably around here anyways that I'd be thinking of moving him out anyways. Just need him to do the job for me in the first 2 or 3. And Hans Haaland again didn't do a lot yesterday. Did nothing yesterday. I think he maybe had 1 or 2 shots. I wouldn't be reading too much into that at all. He started. That's all I needed to see. He started that match, so I have no doubt whatsoever he'll be starting that home match against Bournemouth, and that's what we needed to see. Now, I have a bench. First time I've had a bench in any of my drafts. I am going to play my bench boost if I'm sticking with this. I will play the bench boost. I haven't built this draft towards playing the bench boost. I built this draft towards giving myself a half chance of surviving as long as possible for the wild card. But when I actually built it, and it was probably this guy is the key, is that he is starting at the moment. I don't think he is going to be starting after Sunderland because they have bought a new striker, but is unlikely to be ready for that match. But in the here and now, okay, just play the bench boost, I think. Brentford away, Kinski, maybe some save points. Azure, Tottenham home, DEFCON, never know, might get the clean sheet. Visa, okay, sorry, that's my little Visa. You guys know I have to have a little punt. As I did this, realising I needed a bench, needed a little bit of rotation here and there. I know Newcastle are appalling, but I've got a soft spot for Wizard. He's done really well for me down the years when I brought him in, and I've just got a feeling he's looking just a little bit sharp. I think he's nailing down that striker spot for Newcastle. Wizard is my punt. I have to have a little punt. He's a punt on the bench. Those fixtures are not amazing, but they're not awful either. But I like those two. Little differential. Don't think too many are going there. And I think that makes for a pretty tasty bench boost. So at the moment, I'm not saying there's not going to be some tweaks here. I really would like to turn Hume into Ballard. Ballard is just such a better option. Sangare could potentially be the key, because there's the Everton. Oh God, name's gone out of my head. He's not going to start. No, it's not going to happen. Because I know the lad at Everton. He's not. There's no way. Norgard. Yeah, sorry, couldn't get his name into my head. There's no way Norgard's going to be ready. I'll have a little hunt, but I do like Sangare. I have to say. I think I'm just going to have to bite the bullet on Hume, and it's not a bad rotation sometimes with Azure. I think it's going to be impossible to have a draft we're 100% happy with. But this doesn't look bad. The targets feel, certainly in some of those for the early fixtures, as though it should get somewhere in and around the area that I'm looking for towards achieving that 60, excluding captaincy. And hopefully we get the captaincy right. Now some of these players are going to underperform and some of them are going to overperform. Some weeks I might end up with 35 points and some weeks I might end up with 85 points. It's just, do I feel that squad reasonably can get me somewhere close to that 60 ex-captaincy, and hopefully we get those captaincy calls right. I think it gives me a shout, and that's all we can do in these opening drafts, isn't it? Squad feels as though it's got a better balance to it, to be fair. And I've got some good pivot points, particularly with either Bruno or Mbumo. Then to create a cash cow after a few game weeks, to do a little bit of a remodel when we hit MD4 towards getting some Chelsea assets in. Because I absolutely. Who do I got the phone on? Got the phone on João Pedro. Absolutely on João Pedro. He'd be the main one I've got FOMO on. There's a few other players. I've got no Liverpool in there at the moment. I just don't know what Liverpool where I want to go with Liverpool. Verts? I'm not convinced still. Szoboszlai I could bring in, I guess. Could, that would free up some money, but I don't want to let go of Semenyo. And what Liverpool are we going to get? What city are we going to get? We don't know what any team this is it. We don't know what we're going to get in these opening game weeks. I just absolutely guarantee you it's going to be something that we don't expect. We've just got to put our best guess forward. This is my current best guess. There's a reasonable squad with a decent balance in it that I think can hopefully get me towards hitting the 60 and hopefully the 66 with a nice little captaincy bounce on top, and obviously having the bench boost there if I do decide to play that, which I think I will with this squad if this is where I go, because I'm pretty sure they're all going to get good minutes. Hopefully it'll just get me off to a little bit of a start, which will mean... Oh, sorry, I was wondering where's my blue line gone? We're going to see my blue line, because of course my blue line is running directly parallel with the 66, which is exactly where I want it to be. I'm cleared for takeoff. Let's have a little bit of supposing. Right, Villa home. Let's just so you can sort of see the way this will hopefully look something like this at the end of game week 1. Do I really think Verbruggen's... No, I think he's probably only going to get 3 points there. I think he'll get 2 points and maybe a save point. Calafiori, Coventry home. Got to be a 9-pointer, isn't it? Hume, Ipswich away. Yeah, that's a surefire clean sheet. Yeah, he's going to come up with a 6. Nico Williams Leeds. That's a surefire. Absolutely not a problem at all. Maguire, come on, Holloway. He's going to get the clean sheet and he's going to get the bullet header. That's a 13-pointer. Bruno. It's going to be a penalty. It's going to be an assist. It's got to be a 14-pointer at least, hasn't it? Solace Coventry home. Well, he's clearly going to get a clean sheet and an assist. Lovely. Semenyo, Bournemouth home. Yeah, he'll be a little assist in there somewhere. It's got to be a 7-pointer, isn't it? Sangare, Leeds home. He probably won't get an attacking return, but he'll pick up there and he'll pick up some clean sheet points. And it's DEFCON, a little 5-pointer. And Bournemouth, Hull, he's clearly going to. I can see him getting the mega haul there. And Haaland, lovely. He'll probably just get the 7 points, won't he? So let's see. How would we look at the end of game week 1? Yeah, fucking hell. We're home and host, folks. We're home and host, and haven't even put the bloody bench boost on it. Take care, have fun, play your own game. Don't panic. I'll see you lot in a couple of days' time with the lockdown, final decisions, and captaincy choice as well, of course. See you lot soon. Bye for now.